South by Southwest has always been on the forefront. So what's next for South by in the next 3 to 5 years? How do you grow the event? Well, today we're joined by Peter Lewis, Chief Commercial Officer at South by Southwest. Thank you, Peter, for being with us today. We sure appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure.
So one of the things is that South by Southwest is becoming 40 years old. I don't think a lot of people know that. Like, it's been around for quite a while.
It has. We've been very fortunate. It started in 1987 as a music industry event, and we've been very blessed to have grown quite a bit over these last few years.
And through a lot of changes and growth, for
100%,
sure.
100%.
So how do you think South by has affected tech and media and culturally, like your influence on it?
We've been doing this for a very, very long time, and
Yeah.
so I think we've had the privilege of growing sort of organically over the years and laying the groundwork to then take advantage of some of the trends that are happening culturally and economically with tech and entertainment. The growth of South by Southwest wouldn't have happened had we not started film and innovation in 1994.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's the importance of patience, and I guess the sort of basic block and tackling, and being able to put yourself in a position to then leverage the tailwinds of economic change and growth as well.
You guys talked a little bit earlier today about going through COVID like everybody did, and you were on the forefront of that change. And now you have not a convention center here in Austin, and you're going through that change as well. How do you think being a leader through that change has evolved for you?
I learned early on that there are a lot of things outside of your control,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And I think COVID really drove that home. For me, it gets back to the people on the team, and if I try to embody servant leadership myself, and so I have been at South by Southwest for 17 years, and I have done almost everything you can do within the company. You know, I've been carrying around a box cutter at events, I'm lugging things around, so I know or have an understanding and the empathy to understand what our team is going through, and I think that has had a profound impact on me. And so I would come down to, if you're taking care of your people, the rest is going to take care of itself. And I think a mindset of adaptability and that you need to understand that you can't control always what happens to you, but you 100% control how you react to it.
And so what advice do you think you would give to these new corporate leaders that are out there that are starting to become leaders and evolving through this process?
The people matter, and I think it's having the mindset of building community within your workspace and your team, I think is really important. I think a lot of folks, especially on our side, that are younger in their careers, I think they value the interpersonal interactions that happen, and I know that's challenging with remote work and everything for a lot of companies these days, but we're in the events business, and I think we really believe in the interpersonal connections, and I think as a leader, taking the time to connect with younger folks on the team is very, very important, and I think modeling that behavior for your sort of mid-level management, as it were, is very important as well, and I try to live that and be an active mentor, not only within our team, but also within the wider community as well. I think that the joke kind of is, if you made it past about 3 years, you kind of you're in it for the long haul, and that seemed to be the tipping point for some folks. But I think it really kind of speaks to how mission-driven the company is in terms of driving outcomes for our community, whether it's music industry, tech, or film and TV, or comedy even. And the people that are putting on the event are very passionate about creating something special, and they're invested in the community sort of attendees that come to South by, but also the community here locally, because there's so much impact that the event has here with vendors, providers, et cetera. We're driving about $370 million in economic impact each year, and I think that everybody within the team understands that that affects livelihoods, and it really drives meaningful impact for people.
South by Southwest has always been on the forefront. And all of our members are like, what's next? What's happening next? So what's next for South by in the next 3 to 5 years? How do you grow the event?
Anybody in the world can appear on a stage at South by Southwest, and that community-driven outsourcing of a portion of our program really helps us understand the trends that are happening, sometimes at a subcutaneous level, that might not always bubble up right then, but that we can see starting to trend over the next few years, and that's very, very important. I think at a more broader like company level, we have got South by Southwest in London. I think we're going to continue to look at opportunities to grow internationally in a thoughtful way that does not detract from what we're doing here in Austin. We want Austin to remain the crown jewel of an international gathering place, but we also want to make sure that we're extending our brand and driving impact into communities as much as possible.
Is there a trend that you're seeing now that you would like people to know that, hey, this is coming, this is what you should be looking at?
Fortunately, I'm not the curatorial person, so I don't have to quite worry about that as much. But I will say that this year, I think one of the most interesting things that I've found is the intersection of human connection and AI. And I believe as event professionals, that's going to matter more and more for the global community in a world in which you're not sure you can trust certain things. Those interpersonal interactions that you're having in rooms, hearing people talk, those become much more valuable and I think impactful, not only from a learning standpoint, but also from a career development standpoint in terms of, you're looking for new opportunities in your career. Those interactions are going to matter that much more.
You changed your sponsorship this year, so you have one key sponsor, a headline sponsor. Talk to me a little bit about how that change came about and what that looks like for you guys.
We actually made the switch heading into South by Southwest 2025, and so the last 2 years, South by Southwest has been driven by Rivian, and the general thought process is why chase 5 or 6 brands across all the events as a quote-unquote super sponsor if we can drive even more impact for one headline sponsor. That was the operating thesis. The other piece to that is it would help us be more thoughtful and tactical in terms of approaching sponsors that are going to drive impact for our innovation audience, our comedy audience, our music audience, and our film and TV audience.
Awesome. Well, thank you for spending time with us today. We sure appreciate it, and we look forward to being here at South by Southwest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.